Every 25 years, the Catholic Church opens wide the doors of mercy for a very special event, the Jubilee Year. In 2025, millions of pilgrims from around the world will journey to Rome for the Jubilee Year of Hope. It's a time of renewal, forgiveness, and deep encounter with God's grace. Join us as we walk the sacred paths of Rome, visiting the 4 major basilicas and the 3 other major basilicas. The Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome is one of the most important churches in Catholicism and a central pilgrimage site, especially during Jubilee years such as 2025. Tradition states that it was founded in the 4th century following the Council of Ephesus, which affirmed Mary as the Mother of God. St. Mary Major is not only a jewel of Christian art and architecture, but also a profound center of Marian devotion. During the Jubilee year of 2025, it will once again stand as a central destination for millions of pilgrims seeking renewal, forgiveness, and spiritual grace. It is the largest Marian church in the world, dedicated to the Mother of God. It hosts major feasts such as Assumption of Mary and the dedication of the Basilica, August 5th, with the Miracle of the Snow celebration. According to legend, the Virgin Mary appeared in a dream to Pope Liberius and a Roman nobleman, indicating where a church should be built. On August 5, snow miraculously fell on the Esquiline Hill, marking the site of the Basilica. This event is commemorated annually with a special celebration. St. Peter's Basilica. Located in Vatican City, St. Peter's Basilica is the largest church in the world and the spiritual center of Catholicism. Built over the tomb of St. Peter, the first pope, its magnificent dome, designed by Michelangelo, dominates the Roman skyline. The Jubilee begins with the Pope opening the holy door of St. Peter's Basilica, a symbolic threshold of mercy and forgiveness. The door remains open throughout the Jubilee year for pilgrims seeking plenary indulgence. St. Peter's Basilica is the most prominent church in Christianity and the central focus of the Jubilee year 2025. As the burial site of the Apostle Peter and the heart of the Vatican, it is both a spiritual and architectural masterpiece, drawing millions of pilgrims each Jubilee year. The original basilica was built in the 4th century by Emperor Constantine over the tomb of St. Peter, the first pope. The current basilica was constructed between the 16th and 17th centuries, with contributions from great Renaissance and Baroque masters such as Bramante, Michelangelo, Bernini, and Maderno. St. John Lateran Basilica. It is known as the Cathedral of Rome. St. John Lateran is the official seat of the Pope as Bishop of Rome. It is the oldest basilica in the West, often called the mother and head of all churches. Inside, pilgrims encounter the relics of St. Peter and St. Paul and the majestic papal altar. Visiting this basilica reminds us of the unity of the Church under the successor of Peter. The basilica was founded in the early 4th century by Emperor Constantine after his conversion to Christianity, making it the oldest papal basilica in Rome. The imposing 18th century Baroque facade designed by Alessandro Galilei features colossal statues of Christ, John the Baptist, John the Evangelist, and the doctors of the Church. The Cathedral of the Pope, it is considered the most important basilica to visit during the Jubilee. Pilgrims traditionally visit all 4 major basilicas. St. John Lateran is the ecclesiastical seat of the Pope, making it more important in rank than even St. Peter's Basilica, though less known to many pilgrims. It symbolizes the unity of the universal church under the Bishop of Rome. St. John Lateran is not only the oldest papal basilica, but also the Cathedral of Rome and the Pope's official church. St. Paul outside the walls. This basilica, built over the tomb of St. Paul the Apostle, is a place of profound reflection. vast interior adorned with mosaics and portraits of every pope in history connects us to the unbroken line of apostolic succession. Pilgrims kneel at the apostles' tomb, remembering his words, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept my faith." This basilica is the second largest basilica in Rome after St. Peter's and is built over the tomb of the Apostle Paul, making it one of the most sacred Christian sites in the world. The basilica was originally built in the 4th century by Emperor Constantine over the burial place of St. Paul, who was martyred in Rome around 67 AD. The basilica's facade, rebuilt in the 19th century, features a large mosaic of Christ with St. Peter's and Paul. Aside from the 4 papal basilicas, there are 3 additional major basilicas to complete the traditional 7. St. Mary of Jerusalem. Alongside the 4 major basilicas, we also visited St. Mary of Jerusalem. Though not one of the 4 papal basilicas, it holds a special place for pilgrims. This church, dedicated to Our Lady, reminds us of the deep connection between Rome and the Holy Land. It is a place where pilgrims honor Mary as Mother of the Church and Mother of all believers, uniting East and West in prayer. The most important part of the basilica is the chapel that houses the relics of the Passion. The basilica is renowned for its extraordinary collection of relics associated with the crucifixion of Jesus, brought to Rome by Saint Helena from Jerusalem. St. Lawrence outside the walls. This basilica is dedicated to one of Rome's most venerated martyrs. Built over the tomb of St. Lawrence, the basilica features early Christian architecture and beautiful medieval mosaics. Pilgrims visit to honor the witness of St. Lawrence and reflect on the cost of discipleship, making it a key stop on the Jubilee pilgrimage route. Despite wars and centuries of change, this basilica remains a place of prayer and pilgrimage, reminding us of the courage and hope that defined the Christian story. St. Sebastian outside the walls. This basilica stands above the ancient catacombs of San Sebastiano, where early Christians found refuge and buried dead during times of persecution. The church was first built in the 4th century, dedicated to Saint Sebastian, a Roman soldier who became a Christian and was martyred for his faith around 288 AD. It has been rebuilt and restored over the centuries, most notably in the 17th century under Cardinal Scipione Borghese. Beneath the church, the catacombs of San Sebastiano invite visitors to explore Rome's early Christian roots. The underground galleries are lined with ancient frescoes and inscriptions, bearing witness to the faith and resilience of the first believers. The basilica stands as a testament to courage, perseverance, and the enduring promise of hope. As we conclude our pilgrimage, we invite you to join us and millions of Catholics from around the world in 2025 for the Jubilee Year of Come to Rome, walk through the holy doors, and experience the mercy and love of God in a profound way. If this journey inspired you, please like this video, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to our channel for more faith-filled content. Together, let us be pilgrims of hope, carrying the light of Christ into the world. Thank you.